Hello everyone, welcome to Reading Through the Generations. Today I am sharing with you my answers to a wonderful book tag called the Love in Books tag that Ellie from Bibbidi Bobbidi Books created. So prompt 1 is Friendship Love. Name a book that includes a loving friendship. The first book that came to mind is Now You See Us by Bali Kaur Jaswal, and this is a story about, it's a mystery at its core, but it really celebrates female friendship. It's about four Filipino women who travel abroad to become domestic workers to wealthy families in Singapore. And they come from different socioeconomic backgrounds, they're various different ages, and they form a really close bond and friendship. And their determination really gets put through the test when one of the women is wrongly accused of murdering their employer. This is a very important book in that it sheds light on the exploitation and the personal and legal vulnerabilities of domestic foreign workers everywhere. The second prompt is Sibling Love. Name a book that features a strong sibling relationship. For this one, I recommend The Land of Forgotten Girls by one of my favorite authors, Erin and Trada Kelly. This one is the story of Soledad and her younger sister Ping, who live in Louisiana, in a small town in Louisiana, with their, I would say, very neglectful and verbally abusive stepmother. And the coping strategy is to tell stories. Soledad has the gift of creating wonderful tales that feed into the imagination of her baby sister Ping. And Soledad really uses storytelling as a way to escape the harsh reality of their family home. Yeah, the tagline on the front is sometimes all you need is your sister. I don't know where I'd be without mine. All right, the next prompt is Parental or Guardian Love. Name a book that has a character who identifies as a parent or guardian. So there is a real Sisterhood of Witches in Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. I have a few here. This is the Tiffany Aching series that I really, really love. And specifically in the Discworld series, which is interconnected novels that are really fantasy comedies. And I really love the witches, which includes Granny Weatherwax, Margaret Garlick, and Nanny Ogg. The Tiffany, there's many books in the Discworld series, such as Weird Sisters, Masquerade. I believe Equal Rights is the first one, where the young girl's name is Escarina. She wants to go to wizardry school, but the wizards in the Discworld series is an extremely misogynistic group of men, and only girls can be witches in this universe. And so, just like in all the books, the Granny Weatherwax needs to gather her coven of fellow witches who each guard and defend their own small counties. And so, yeah, their coven gets together and they stand up to evil and fight injustice and oppression, and they're just hilarious. I absolutely love Granny Weatherwax. 4 is Pet Love. Name a book that features a loyal pet or animal companion. I would recommend for this one The Ride of Her Life by Elizabeth Letts. This is the true story of Annie Wilkins. After being told some terrible news that she only has a certain amount of time to live, instead of wallowing in her sorrow, she decides to cross off an item on her bucket list, which was to always see the Pacific Ocean. She lived in Maine. She was a farmer, and she had no family around other than her loyal pets. And she decides to go on horseback from the coast of Maine all the way to California, and her loyal dog comes along as well. And this is just an inspirational, true story, and Letts does the same trek while she tells the story of Annie. Number 5 is Romantic Love. Name a book that contains a swoon-worthy romantic plot or line. So for this, it's the one and only Persuasion by Jane Austen. I think it's an incomparable story for obvious reasons. If you haven't read it, I highly, highly recommend you seek it out. Then that is followed by Erotic Love. Name a book that doesn't fade to black when things get spicy. Now, I am a very boring person. I don't tend to read this genre, but one that I highly recommend for this, it's just a brief scene, but it's so pivotal to the storyline. So the book that I recommend for this is Love After Love by Ingrid Persaud. And this is set in Trinidad and Tobago, and we follow a single mother who is raising her little boy on her own, and to make extra money she takes a lodger, a gentleman who is a heavily closeted gay man. And there is a scene that is so pivotal to the relationship and friendship that forms. I would say it's more than a friendship. They really form their own family unit. And it's a very funny scene. I don't want to throw you off this book just because it is such a special story. It was perhaps my most favorite book of last year. Love After Love, and I'm really excited to read her new novel, The Lost Love Songs of Boise Sing. And that brings us to the final prompt, which is self-love. Name a book that includes the theme of appreciating your own worth, finding yourself, personal growth, self-acceptance, etc. And for this one, I need to share with you Jacqueline Woodson's The Day You Begin, illustrated by Rafael Lopez. It's a book about daring, what courage it takes to honor ourselves, to dare ourselves to be open when we feel the most alone, by allowing others into our world through sharing our own stories, but listening to the stories of others does our world open up, that we find connection. And I want to share a beautiful passage. Jacqueline says, "There will be times when the world feels like a place that you're standing all the way outside of, And all that stands beside you is your own brave self, steady as steel and ready even though you don't yet know what you're ready for. There will be times when you walk into a room and no one there is quite like you until the day you begin to share your stories. And all at once, in the room where no one else is quite like you, the world opens itself up a little wider to make some space for you. And on that note, I will say farewell. I invite all of you who wish to share in the love by answering Ellie's prompts to please do so. Have a wonderful week ahead. Take good care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.